if they're going to stay in the meeting. As we move on now to heat number 2. The riders coming out, man in white, there is Carl Stonehewer. We saw earlier on, of course, the Brit. There we see Carl Stonehewer. Michael Lee doing his motors for him, Peter, as we talked about earlier this year, and certainly costume Stonehewer benefiting a little bit. The man in yellow there, Martin Dugard, wildcard going from the outside. Third in the current British League averages, Martin Dugard. Peter Carlson there. We saw him in the league action in midweek in the red helmet colours, will go from the inside. And Tony Kasper is the man in the blue helmet colours. Still an Eastbourne asset here, the Czech Republic rider. But what about the chances of Martin Dugard, the second white card here?
Well, Martin's having a great season, there's no doubt about that. He's having a brilliant season for Eastbourne, and there he is on the outside start position. We've just seen that Lee Richardson's just flown from that position, and I think Martin's up for this.
Here's the lineup then. Peter Carlson goes from the inside, the Swede in red. Tony Kasper, the Czech Republic rider, in blue from gate 2. Gate 3, Carl Stonehewer, backed by well over 1,000 fans from Workington down at the Coventry Stadium here tonight. And on the outside, Martin Dugard, family, friends and all, back in the Eastbourne captain. And certainly, well, a pretty good performance. And, well, British triumph in heat number 1, Peter. Can we get it heat number 2?
Well, certainly we've got Martin in there. Carl Stonehewer, Carl's certainly the crowd's favourite. Certainly all these fans travel down from Workington will be expecting or hoping Carl's going to do well, and let's get behind him. I'm sure he's going to do well tonight.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. This is heat number 2, remember, at the 24. Martin Dugard, here is camera in the yellow helmet colour. Gary suits the starting margin, walks away. Tony Steele, the referee, lets up the tapes and away they go. And it's Dugard and Stonehewer, the English pair out front. Packing up at the rear in blue is Tony Kasper. Coming through to split them now is Peter Carlson. But Carl Stonehewer is out front. The Workington fans are cheering the roof off in the Waz Club. In second place in red, Peter Carlson. Martin Dugard has him in his sights. Martin Dugard's trying the inside. Carlson blocking the way, but Stonehewer got a flyer.
Tony, that was a fabulous start from Carl Stonehewer. What a first corner. He wasn't clear of the match, but certainly he just flew out of there, and he's riding a perfect race, and certainly he's going great in this first ride.
Dugard picking it up as Carlson fails, and now Dugard's in second place. Carlson at the rear, just like his brother. Disaster striking in his first ride for the elder of the 2 Swedish brothers, Peter Carlson. But now the Brits are in front in the white helmet collar. Carl Stonehewer with half a lap to go, tracked by Martin Dugard. Both of these will march on to heat 7 and 8, and a real triumph for the Brits so far here tonight. But cheers for Carl Stonehewer's performance here in white helmet colour. Ahead of in yellow, Martin Dugard. And third place goes to Tony Kasper. Peter Carlson, well, he packed up. But, well, what a night for Brits. What a night for this young man. Carl Stonehewer certainly enjoying himself here. Really brilliant ride by him. And, well, Peter, we'll have to catch our breath on that, because the effort of the Brits at the boat is exactly what we wanted to see. The checkered flag for Carl Stonehewer, and the fans enjoying it.
Yeah, that was just unbelievable. There's Carl just riding around there in front of all those Workington fans, and what a start for him. Again, that's him there in the white helmet, right in the middle of the pack on the first turn. He goes down to the inside. Martin Dugard just on the outside of him. He takes Martin a little bit wide, and that allows Peter Carlson there to come through into second place. Now, Peter's having a good ride. Again, on the start, you can see that dirt being thrown from the back wheel of Carl. His front wheel was just hovering then. He leans across. He's got the bike turned already, right in front of the pack there on that first turn, and a great first turn. Martin Dugard just a little bit on the edge there, pushed too wide. Martin didn't want to be out there, and that allowed Peter Carlson there to shoot through on the inside.
Well, a fine performance by Martin Dugard there in second place behind Carl Stonehewer. Top for the Brits, Tony Kasper and Peter Carlson follow. And now our Heat 1 winner, Lee Richardson, is with Susie Perry.
Well, Lee, out of that gate, you certainly meant business.
Yeah, I got a good start off gate 4 there, and seemed to get a good run to the corner, and then just rode my own race, really.
No, you haven't been very well. Recently, it's been very well documented. How are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm not too bad. This is my first meeting back now in nearly 2 months properly, so I feel okay myself. I just got to keep on going now.
I was going to ask you, this being your home track, if it had any advantage to you, but really you haven't ridden very much at all, have you?
No, I haven't. Like I say, the last month, 2 months I've been out of action, so I haven't had much chance to have a bit of advantage. But the riders here, the CAD problem, you know, it's the same for everybody. So just got to try and do my stuff and get out the start.
Well, a great start and into heat 7 now. It must have been the hair that did it, Ailey.
Must have been a go faster haircut, I think.
Well done.
Thanks.
We move on now then to heat number 3, and certainly some track specialists in this one. The man in the red helmet colour there is Greg Hancock, of course, the American former world champion who rides here at Coventry on a regular basis and goes from the inside gate. The man in blue there is Jimmy Nilsson. Now he says back to fitness, the Swede with the number 3 on his machine. In white is John Jorgensen, of course a man who's ridden for Coventry, back riding for them again now, on and off it seems. And on the outside, Brian Anderson in yellow and black, also the former Coventry captains. And track experts in this one, BC, as they line up here. Hancock on the inside, Nilsson, Jorgensen and Anderson in that order.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about Jimmy Nilsson. He's been a bit quiet since he had those injuries, shoulder injury and an arm injury, and we know he makes good starts, but he's got Greg Hancock, a local man here, 1997 world champion, on gate 1 next to him.
Well, there's the line-up. Our starting marshal, Gary Stooks, a busy man here tonight. Tony Steele, the British referee up above. He will release the tapes. They fly up away in blue. A great start for Jimmy Nilsson. No worries about him on that form. Pursued by Greg Hancock. Hancock locks up. Round the outside goes Brian Anderson, the Dane. Hancock back in third place. Really struggling at the rear is John Jorgensen, but a flying start this time by Jimmy Nilsson. And he could have it all his own way, this one.
Yes, Tony, as we can see, he is looking very sharp, very fit. He seems to be over those injuries. I know certainly in the last GP he looked very, very sore and painful, but really struggled. But here we go, Jimmy's having a great ride there, and Greg Hancock's back in third.
Jimmy Nilsson looking comfortable now, coming back from his injuries and looking to make ground in the Grand Prix series. In second place, the Dane, Brian Anderson, the former Coventry captain, knowing the track like the back of his hand. In third place in red, something of a surprise for Greg Hancock. And tail off at the rear is John Jorgensen. All but Jimmy Nilsson, the race leader, of course, have lots of experience with Coventry. They're struggling on that top end, but now down the back straight, less than half a lap to go for Jimmy Nilsson to take the checkered flag. Hancock is trying to get on turns, and Hancock comes through into second place in red there. A marvellous effort by Greg Hancock to do that into second place, to relegate Brian Anderson to third, which means he'll have to battle back. And the Coventry fans will love the effort of Greg Hancock, but Jimmy Nilsson there shakes his hand. Jimmy Nilsson, the heat winner, but Greg Hancock bringing the surprise around that top bend to get second place and march on, the pair of them going to heats 7 and 8. And Jimmy Nilsson, though, of course, been injured for the last couple of Grand Prix, struggling somewhat, but here they're really flying from the start.
Yes, this is the start on the inside there, the home man, Greg Hancock. He doesn't make a good start there. Just look at Jimmy Nilsson in the blue. He's a full bike length up when he gets to the corner. Now, the track is a little bit tricky at the moment, but we've had a lot of rain early on. The water soaked right into the circuit, so there's grip everywhere at the moment. It is very grippy sort of down low, but Greg missed that start. But on the outside, having a good run round the outside is Brian Anderson, who goes round Greg Hancock, who loses a bit of ground there when he locks up too much. But certainly a great ride from Jimmy Nilsson just to hold on to that lead, and he never seemed to let the others catch him at all. And here we can see that Greg Hancock has just gone around the outside of Brian Anderson, who's just actually signed for Oxford, Tony.
Well, with success there, that heat 3, there we see Jimmy Nilsson ahead of Greg Hancock. Both move on to heat 7 and 8. Brian Anderson and John Jorgensen, they have to go again. But now Brits have been triumphing. The two that came in first and second in heat 2 are with Susie Perry.